In time, you will know what it's like to hate, to feel so desperately that something doesn't exist, yet watch it all the same. Dread it, run from it, Halloween Resurrection still arrives. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to my look at the Halloween franchise. Today, Michael stars in an internet reality show in Halloween Resurrection. H2O became the highest-grossing Halloween film upon its release, with $55 million, and was welcomed with the most positive reviews since the original. As you saw, Michael was decapitated at the end, and Jamie Lee Curtis thought this would be a signal for the end of the series. However, Mustafa Akkad had a legal clause that writers could not kill off the Myers character. This nearly caused Curtis to leave the production of H2O, but Kevin Williamson, writer of Scream, came up with an idea where the audience could leave and believe Michael was truly dead and gone until the sequel was announced. The film's financial success granted Akkad's wish, and they were able to make Halloween Resurrection, which would explain how Michael survived and would continue his pursuit of Laurie and eventually return to his childhood home. However, thanks to 1999's The Blair Witch Project being so successful with its found footage style, they decided to upgrade Resurrection with some new technology involving an internet reality show where contestants investigate the Myers house for a night. Jamie Lee returned, briefly, but an entirely new young cast of characters were introduced, including rapper Busta Rhymes playing Freddy, the host of the reality show. Rick Rosenthal, the man who directed Halloween 2, was brought back to direct Michael's Homecoming. So, how would this utterly unnecessary follow-up to a good conclusion ending pan out? Let's find out. The movie begins with the reveal that Laurie is now in a sanitarium and a nurse explaining why she was committed. Apparently, Michael switched places with a paramedic and got away.
Why didn't the paramedic say something?
His larynx had been crushed.
Fuck you. Seriously. Fuck you. I've watched H2O countless times, and I always walk away with the impression that it was indeed Michael that Laurie killed. He unzipped himself from a body bag, got thrown through a windshield, and immediately got up and survived being pinned between a van and a tree. I hate this explanation of survival with a fiery passion. So because Laurie was convicted of murder, she was locked up and hasn't spoken a word in years. But on this particular night, she spots Michael outside coming for her. Security guard Willie is out there, but finds another patient, Harold, instead, who is obsessed with serial killers. Willie takes him to his room, however, another security guard says he's already gotten out again, and they decide to go retrieve him. Of course, the one security guard is killed, while Willie gets a bite to eat, later finding his head in the dryer. With them out of the way, he tracks down Laurie, but she manages to lure him to the building's roof, where she sets a trap for Michael to capture him. But she's a total idiot now, because he tricks her into thinking it may be someone else again, leading her to try and take off his mask to be sure it's him. Can you guess how this is gonna end? Jamie Lee only promised to come back if she was killed off quickly at the start. I just can't believe the smart, tough Laurie we had just had in H2O was reduced to being a fool, resulting in her death. I don't know why she thought her big plan, dropping Michael from that height, would actually kill him. I don't know why, if she was unsure, she wouldn't just ask the person to remove the mask themselves. Such a dumb, shitty end for a heroine that became synonymous with the franchise. Move on over to Haddonfield University, where we meet our new main girl slash basket case, Sarah.
Face up to the figure he called what?
The shadow.
Shadow.
Crazy how that whisper answer from all the way in the back was heard. Her overactive friend Jennifer has big news for her and their other friend, Rudy. They've all been selected to participate in an online reality show called Dangertainment, where they'll get to investigate the home of notorious serial killer Michael Myers.
He picked up a knife, and he never put it down again.
Who the fuck was that? Sarah lets her online friend, Deckard, know about the good news. Turns out that Deckard hasn't been truthful with her and is actually a freshman in high school.
FBI, open up!
That night, all the contestants meet up and are introduced to the hosts, Freddie and Nora. They explain the rules of the show and interview the other contestants, Bill, Donna, and Jim, all of whom have their own cliche personalities. Then there's Sarah's special trait. Fun fact, the actress who plays Sarah, Bianca Kalick, could not scream, so her screams were dubbed in post-production. Smart to get someone who can't scream, even though that's her character's remarkable trait. Later, she goes to Freddy to drop out because she doesn't believe she has the personality to be on the show. He convinces her that she has what it takes to be a star, and that's it. Back to Deckard, he plans on staying home to watch Sarah online, but his friend Scott convinces him to come with him to Mickey Stern's Halloween party. Meanwhile, the contestants are being equipped with POV cameras, and the house cameras are being set up inside by Charlie and Michael. I went to college for film, and I don't recall ever coming across a tripod that had a spike. I'm sure someone will comment saying I'm wrong, I just don't think it's practical for the type of show being filmed. All the contestants make it to the house, and the dangertainment begins for a wild night.
We don't have to do anything. Technically, we just have to be in the house.
Aren't we supposed to be looking for answers?
All right. The devil made him do it.
Of all the idiots in all the idiot villages, why did they choose this lazy bastard to join? They all begin to roam around while Sarah finds a hidden high chair with straps, chains, and a gigantic key. Seems legit and not a prop. Cut to Deckard and Scott, who make it to Mickey Stern's Halloween party. Deckard swiftly darts towards the nearest computer room and opens up the page for Dangertainment. In the house, Bill is unsuccessful at flirting with Jennifer, and Jim investigates the basement with Donna. But Sarah and Rudy hear a scream from upstairs and run to investigate. I got a better idea. Turn it off. Bill separates from the group and has some one-on-one time in the mirror. So not one of perhaps millions of people watching saw that and wondered that just maybe someone was murdered on live TV. Jim and Donna use that key from earlier to open up a door in the basement that leads to an underground tunnel. I wonder if it intersects with Jason's Crystal Lake tunnels. While down there, Donna comes on to Jim and the two get down to business until a wall collapses and skeletons pour out on them. However, they're all fake and it's just a stunt pulled by the Dangertainment team. Upstairs, Michael stalks the rooms, but what's this? Two Michaels?
Oh, shit, man. Charlie, where the fuck you been at, man? Don't you know we've been looking all over this motherfucker for you? And why the hell you dressed like me anyway?
This isn't even the worst part. Freddy berates Michael and tells him to leave and go outside to the garage. Michael listens and leaves him alone. Were they going for a laugh here? Most likely. Does it fuel my already built up rage instead? You're goddamn right. Donna decides to investigate behind the collapsed wall, which leads to the sewers and location of Michael's hiding spot. Michael magically pops up and corners her into a gate, impaling her on a spike.
That was so fake. No, wait, you guys, that really just happened. She was just killed.
You're laughing. A one-dimensional character was just killed in front of you and you're laughing. Sarah spots Myers and gathers up the gang after he attacks her. Michael's first words? Nah, it's Freddy, who explains that everything they've experienced has been fake in order to make the show more fun for the audience. He pieces out, but Jennifer finds Bill's dead body upstairs and runs into Michael. Michael has decapitated 2 people in this movie with a butcher knife. Not entirely sure that's possible with one swing, and after fake Michael was killed in the same manner, he must have some compulsion to cut people's heads off now. With the doors locked, the rest can't escape, and Jim ends up getting the short end of the stick.
Oh.
Probably my favorite kill. It's quick, but I'm always a fan of a good head crush. Rudy takes one for the team and lures Michael into the kitchen. In a callback to the original, he ends up getting double stabbed into the door. Sarah calls out to the viewers and Deckard to help her. He uses his phone to text her Michael's location so she can escape, but she runs into Freddy.
So you want to be on Dangertainment? Let's see what you got.
Yes. Freddy's kung fu knowledge from movies helped him kick Michael Myers right the fuck out of the house, hanging him. But surprise, he cuts himself free, gets back into the house, and gives Freddy some life-threatening stabs to the shoulder. Sarah manages to make it outside to the garage where she finds the bled-out corpse of Nora. Michael makes his way out there, but Sarah's got a fucking chainsaw. God, her line delivery here is cringe. A bunch of other shit happens, including a fire being set, the chainsaw losing gas, and Sarah gets trapped under some equipment. This looks like the end for her.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
The two have it out, but Michael is clearly the superior being, so Freddy electrocutes his nuts, lights him on fire, and leaves him to burn while leaving with Sarah. All the help finally arrives, Sarah thanks Deckard for his help, and Michael is wheeled away into a morgue for an autopsy. Fuck you. That's my overall thoughts on this movie. It is 100% the most unnecessary entry in the whole damn franchise. You have one of the most ridiculous retcons in movie history and have Michael come back to kill Laurie, his final bloodline member. Except her son John is still out there. Why in the fuck wouldn't you bring him back? Michael knows he's got a nephew to kill, and you could have John be on the run or looking to avenge his mother. The urge to eliminate the bloodline is well established, obviously, so even though he did finally kill Laurie, Michael would be wise enough to think, okay, next is her son, and then I'm all done. Then I can go home. Instead, John is ignored entirely, and we're given a group of mindless teens who are gonna check out the Myers place for all of the internet to watch, along with the kung fu fighting Busta Rhymes. It's obvious they wanted to bring the franchise into the 2000s with the technology, reality TV concept, and internet fluence, but holy shit does it make it feel dated. I don't mind being back in the Myers house, especially since it actually looks good for a change, but the manner in which the cast is put there is annoying. Speaking of the cast, they're the most forgettable in this whole series. You don't get to know any of them that well, including your main girl, Sarah. She's just dragging herself through the movie while the others are either horny, annoying, or have one defining trait about them. I have no clue what Tyra Banks is doing here other than shaking her butt in one scene, but it's clear that Busta Rhymes is having fun. Doesn't mean I enjoy his character, but he's the only one who looks like he's having a blast and giving the movie some sort of life. Brad Laurie does a decent enough job as Michael. He looks like he's got a bit more muscle on him than Chris Duran did in H2O, but he still has that build that I believe I'm really dealing with the Michael Myers. Only thing I don't like is that he brought back that Dick Warlock walk like a robot. Not a fan of that type of movement for the character. His mask is fine, big upgrade from the H2O debacles, but I would still put it behind 1, 2, and 6. The kills are also quite better this time around. Like I said, quite a few decapitations, the head crush was cool, like the nod to the original with Rudy's impalement, and the surprise attack on Jim through the mirror was fun. But fuck Laurie's death. The stupidest and most anticlimactic way for her to go out. I can also admit that the Halloween theme is done well, but that's my last positive. There is some terrible editing throughout thanks to the use of the personal cameras doing stupid jumps and glitching out. They use a lot of slow motion at times that are unnecessary. Some shots are reused in different scenes. They use this weird rattlesnake effect throughout, and the ADR, additional dialogue recording, is atrociously noticeable at times. The movie is just egregiously bad and boring. It nearly ruined what is quite possibly my favorite ending of all the movies. Its plot is so absurd and a product of its time. I don't care about anyone to the point where I can't wait for Michael to get them, and it's not really all that well made. In all honesty, I pretend this one doesn't exist and that the timeline ended after H2O. I give Halloween Resurrection half a GoPro camera out of 5. But let me know your thoughts. How do you feel about this one existing after H2O's conclusive ending? Do you actually think it's not that bad of a sequel, or do you agree that it's totally unnecessary? And what was your favorite kill? Don't forget to subscribe and follow my Twitter and Instagram. Links to those are in the description. Next week, Rob Zombie puts his spin on the original in the remake Halloween. Until next time, peace.